All right, I want to talk some more about this American pharmacon prophecy. This is like ancient pharmacon right here. Pharmakia. All right. Basically, how all the Ivy League colleges were funded, the initial colleges, which are a Jesuit-run institution off Jump Street. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they don't necessarily have to claim affiliations to the Pope or Rome. In a way, it's being a Jesuit is a license from Rome. You can be a part of the Jesuits openly if you want, but if you want to be a secret covert agent, you can claim anything that you want in front of whoever to infiltrate and subvert and destroy something in the name of the Pope, and he will, you know what I'm saying? You won't have to, instead of 200 bars of gold, your betrayal will be taken as payment for your exit from purgatory, according to their doctrines anyway. I always love to bend and twist that and redirect it back at the guilty culprits. Once again, the natives in America have bad beef against Jesus because of these people. You know what I'm saying? That came in. Like, if you read Geronimo's, his own story, it says that he was like, the Catholic Church lusts for more souls to basically join and pay tithes to. Like, Geronimo was excommunicated because he had 2 wives. And they said, well, hey, if you want to be part of us, you're going to have to divorce one of your wives. And Geronimo says, good luck with that. He goes, you go tell them. And you go, you tell me what they tell you. And so they had, actually, that reprimanded him. But I think he got actually excommunicated for being a gambler. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, hey, dude, you got to think, this guy was on the run, living the wild life, the vida loca, smoking Mexicans, man, fucking you know what I'm saying? It's like, then you gotta sit in a fucking concentration camp. What else is there to do other than, you know what I'm saying? Then more bad stuff, you know what I'm saying, from being stuck. When people get stuck too long, you know what I'm saying, they normally do succumb to some kind of something to break up the mundane and pass the time, like in prison. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get on drugs or they turn gay only while in prison, but they be like, no, I'm not gay. Those guys in prison are gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? It's really messed up. But anyway, what they did to build the railroads, they imported people from China, like Shanghai these guys, or like really literally how they got Shanghaied is over in China. If you were a frequenter of the opium den, they would look at you like, well, you deserve this. It's like in Pinocchio when the kids are chilling at that place and then they get sent out to the sea and then the ship crashes and then the whale eats Pinocchio. Where they all start turning into donkeys. Anyway, they would Shanghai these guys and they would bring opium here to America, and basically they'd have the Chinese working on the railroad, like what is his name, Jim Brown or whatever. It's like they'd have them work on the railroad, and then when they would get paid, they'd have their dope peddlers sitting there waiting to sell them opium. You know what I'm saying? That actually got them Shanghaied, and this is all multinational East Indian Trading Company type law of the sea, a maritime amnesty law type operation. And look, and America also was a location of pirates. Pirates basically are criminals subcontracted by kings and other nation and organizations to go in. Like, all right, the Spain, if you want to work for Spain, well, then you can rob the British and the French. If you work for the French, you can rob the British and the Spain. If you work for Britain, you can rob the Spanish and the French. I mean, for instance, they had these different like alliances. It's like, in other words, it's like, all right, you want to be like pirates is just a bunch of dudes that hijack a ship and just set out with the goal. Like, look, we're not coming back until we got some spoil, some booty. And these guys are all connected. See, pirates weren't, look, when they weren't being pirates, a lot of them were like miners, farmers, builders. and other things like soldiers that war ends. Now, hey, what do I do with my talents? You know what I'm saying? The open sea was a opportunity for people to get some work. Like nowadays, in the common street vernacular of what work means, they went and got some work. Like they did with these Chinese that built the freaking railroad. So I mean, America, all our great institutions are founded on a con, on a hustle, on a dope scheme. Uh, and the American dream is a dope scheme, like straight up. So, uh, and that all ties in with like the worthless Chinese. Let's get them all doped out and use and abuse them. Same thing. They also use the alcohol to add conflict in the Indian territories, and they would even make fake alcohol that was just full of it was just basically poison, and they poisoned a bunch of Indians with bad alcohol on purpose and intentionally after they got them a taste for it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is America is built on that hustle, on the vices, man, using the vices to keep people weak. So on one hand promoting one thing, but on another doing something totally different. And once again, eugenics is all based on Indian extermination policy. You know what I'm saying? Like, no joke. It's based on Indian extermination policy. And the reason why, man, it's just like being in prison. Why do people, do the gay or get high up in there? Well, it's a shitty fucking place to be. So there's not much options for, you know what I'm saying, for coping mechanisms. Same thing, and a reservation is just like a prison, because it's like you can run away from it, but society's built in such a way that you won't really never get ahead anyway. So in a way, you're free to leave, but society's built in such a way that there's gatekeepers that stop certain people from any kind of progression, because look, they need to keep that eugenics narrative going, that these are degenerates, that these people are they are not capable of being normal regular humans, so therefore they're a species of pauper. That's exactly what they call them. Pauper means like it's like, in a way, they could say, look, we're good, we didn't kill them all, and look, we provided a place for them to live. So it's like through this false charity, it's an excuse, it's a pretext to make a fucking concentration camp, fun camp, to preserve the life of these poor, unfortunate souls. When all actuality, it was like, no, you created a crisis so you could have you had a problem reaction solution type situation. And it's all tied up into the federal government. They always really hated Indians, and they just hate minorities altogether. You can't. That's something that America's got to eat. That there has been racial divisions all along, and there has been a primarily Caucasian kind of stranglehold on every other thing in this country. And I mean, it's not just this country, it's in the entire freaking world. I mean, Arabs are still treated like crap, or thought about like the N-word. But the only reason they get away with so much stuff is because they got them sultans over there who got fucking gold and oil and women and slaves and all that. So they still get to bargain with these European powers, because it's really European powers. It all goes right back to the Queen. All them pirates worked for the Queen. These same Jesuits, they work for the Pope and the Queen. You know what I'm saying? And in Maccabees, it talks about how Israel struck up fucking agreements with these same type people to let them keep doing certain customs in return for tribute and loyalties and sway and pull. Like if they call in a favor, you got to obey that man and not God. Well, that's the cost to get favors from these people. Like literally, they're traffickers in men's souls. You know what I'm saying? And it's like you can't. Traffic is like it's selling, it's buying and exchanging. So look, obviously, man, it's worth something. I mean, look, slaves. Fucking look, you take a dude, tie him up, take him to the other dudes, and they take him across somewhere, and then sell him to these people for this much. Look, people are worth something. And look, with commodification, the law of the sea right now, uh, yeah, we're slaves. We're just commodities to them people. You know what I'm saying? We're dope. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in a way, in their mind, they just look at you like a substance or a material thing, as opposed to an actual living, breathing, sentient, created being. You know what I'm saying? And in the image of God. And these people hate it. You know what I'm saying? They'll do anything to get you to believe in that man came from monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Or aliens or whatever, dude. Or we're just a fucking, you're just a fucking construct of my consciousness and whatever I think is what is. I mean, these people they got insane ideas. And then a lot of this comes from, your Terrence McKenna, Tim Leary, uh, and these guru types, like literally, like they learned this particular way of speaking from these gurus, which in a way is kind of like a form of Confucianism, which is like, look, on one hand, you use philosophy and determine what's right and what's wrong, but on the other hand, you actually do everything opposite and see how that still kind of applies as right. You know what I'm saying? And these guys play these kind of mind games. It's called moral relativism, and it's like the ends justify the means. It's just more Machiavellian double speech uh, type conditioning. It's like, see, they used to only do this in private little get-togethers where a bunch of people get together, get wasted, and then they discuss philosophy and religion and politics, and they would just get more and more bold and proclaim more and more crazy counterpoints. And in a way, that's not bad, but in the way they were doing it, it was just more like kind of being like, just a spit in the face of anything. It's just like, look, whatever you're arguing, I'm going to argue something different. It's going to sound right. Either way, either one of us say it, it's going to sound right. But it really doesn't solve anything. It actually adds just more confusion, which was the purpose and the point of it. And they do that. Our government does this to us now, where they'll tell you one thing on one hand, then make a law that is totally backwards. So it's like you don't know what the fuck to believe. You don't know where the lines are drawn. So I mean, same thing with the whole America pharmacon. How they exported that Scarface dope hustler American dream to the world, to where like you got gang banger types in every country modeled after the dope gang American culture, and it's causing much havoc. It's ruining families, ruining lives, ruining countries. And that's how they traffic in men's souls too, is they get them to willingly fork over their soul for whatever the reward is here. You know what I'm saying? In this earth, in this life. You know what I'm saying? And it's a short-lived thing for a lot of these freaking narco gang. These narco gangs. It's like life is cheap here, man. You'll just look. It doesn't matter if you're top dog for how long, man. Listen, you will be shot or you will be imprisoned and you will be replaced. And life will go on without you. And I mean, they might remember your name, but look, your accolades will not last long. In 100 years, no one's going to remember who you were anyway. I don't care how much people do still talk about Al Capone every now and then. So, I mean, but ain't even 100 years really went by yet. So, you know what I'm saying? In the way they're teaching kids now, they're purposefully leaving out some of the real retrospective, introspective parts of history that will make you think that, well, wait a second, there was some kind of payoff or trade-off for doing this here. And it's like a lot of times they present you these boogeymen. That's because he's propped up and it's hiding the organizations and institutions behind that boogeyman that are exploiting this situation that they, you know, how they prop the dude up. Problem, reaction, solution.